If only there was some way that I could tell people about all the fun we just had.
Why, Buzz, it can be done.
It can?
What, Buzz, are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I think so. I think I want to say prove it, Wrigley.
Prove it, Wrigley!
I will. Ladies and gentlemen, a non-fictional personal narrative story is your ticket to telling the world all about you. And we're going to show you how fun and easy it is to write your own personal narrative story with my invention, the Blog-O-Matic. But first, we're going to need 2 volunteers. Over here. And what's your name? Serena. Get ready to be loud and weird? I believe it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for Caleb and Serena! To join the Rhino-Matic show, you've both got to be loud and you got to be weird. So when I tap you on the shoulder in your biggest, loudest, weirdest voice, look out over your audience and say, "Operators are standing by." You go first.
Operators standing by.
Great job! Now you!
Operators are standing by.
Give them both a round of applause. That was excellent, you two. Okay, you head backstage with Doc, and he's going to get you all set up for this very next story. Follow Doc. Head backstage. We're going to get you ready. Thank you, everybody. Now, like I said, a non-fictional personal narrative story that makes telling the world all about you easy schmeezy. So everybody try to think about a time in your life that you had a problem. Think about the way that you solved that problem. Think about where you were when it happened, and the 2 or 3 other people that were with you. That way we can perform it with the awesome volunteers we just found. If you can think about a true story just like that you'd like to share with our audience today, raise your hand. Who's got a true story? A true story they want to share with the audience today about a problem that they had? How about right here on the front row? You look pretty excited. You have a true story for us, yes? And it's about a problem that you had? You solved it? Awesome. And you had 2, maybe 3 other people with you?
Yeah, I have my cousin with me.
Okay, what's your name?
Carter.
Carter, come on up. Everybody give Carter a round of applause. Carter, you should have a seat right there in a world-famous, awesome author's chair. Get nice and comfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, the first part of every personal narrative story would be the people or animals that are with you when this story takes place. Those are called the characters. And in a personal narrative, we like to call the characters, say it with us when we point to the side, my friends and I. Great job, everybody. Carter, you're going to be the star of your very own personal narrative story. Could you spell your name for us, please?
Carter.
That is correct. We have Carter. Carter, who was with you when this story took place?
My cousin Caleb.
Cousin Caleb. Anybody else?
No, that was me.
So, Carter was joined by his cousin Caleb when this story begins. Now, is this Caleb who's backstage by chance?
No.
Different Caleb. Now, can you spell Caleb's name for us?
They already got it right.
Got it right. Way to go, guys! You never know. So we have Carter, we have Caleb. We're ready to move on to the place where everything in Carter's story happens. That's called the setting. And in a personal narrative, we call the setting, say it with me, places I go. Carter, you're with your cousin Caleb. Where were you when this story took place?
At Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. That's true, they can. Ladies and gentlemen, Carter and Caleb were at Chuck E. Cheese when this story takes place. We gotta find out what they were doing at the House of Cheese, everybody. It's time to talk about their activity. In a personal narrative, we like to call the activity, say it with Mr. Cheese's house, what were you guys doing?
So we were on the play structure there. We were about to go down the slide.
So they were playing on the play structure, about to go down the slide in this story. That sounds like a lot of fun. Slides are pretty great, even though they have their ups and downs. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our characters, we've got our setting, we've got our activity. The next thing we want to talk about is the part of the story where things get interesting. Things get a little bit wild, things might even get dangerous, because it's time for the problem. And when we face a problem in a personal narrative story, we say it with us. Oh, no! Carter, you're at Chuck E. Cheese with your cousin Caleb. You're going down the slide. What went wrong?
We were about to go down the slide, and then a bully showed up, and then he looked, and then pushed me down the slide.
Oh, Carter, that is rough. Ladies and gentlemen, Carter and Caleb were getting ready to go down the slide when a bully showed up at Chuck E. Cheese. A terrible, terrible problem indeed, Carter. But ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on the most heroic part of a personal narrative story. Yes, it's time for the part of the story where we solve a problem. And when we solve a problem in a personal narrative, we say it with us. Carter, you're dealing with a terrible bully at Chuck E. Cheese. What did you do? How did you solve this problem?
And then we were like, well, there's just a slide right in front of us, and he's right above the slide. So then we just went down the slide, and then, where'd they go?
Nice! They made an excellent escape by going down the slide and getting out of the way of that mean old bully. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the story of Carter and Caleb at Chuck E. Cheese playing until a bully shows up. But the day is saved when they go down the slide to get away from the bully. This is an awesome, awesome personal narrative story. Last but not least, it's going to need a name. The name for your personal narrative story just might be The Story of Me. Now in this case, it is of course, the story of Carter. Carter, my friend, are you ready to see your awesome personal narrative story come to life in front of this live studio audience?
Yes.
Live studio audience, are you ready for Carter's story? Well then, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Rhino-Matic Show is very proud to present The Story of Carter. It was a beautiful day at Chuck E. Cheese, and there, ready to be a kid, eat some pizza, and play some games, we find a cool young dude named Carter.
Ah, yes, what a nice day to be here at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, gonna play some games, eat some pizza, talking mouse thing, watch a fan, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, but I can't have all this fun here by myself. I need my cousin Caleb. Caleb, hey Caleb. Alright, so we're here, we're at Chuck E. Cheese. There's pizza, and there's games, and there's more games. And there's someone else's pizza over there. So what are we going to do first?
Let's get on the slide.
Go down the slide. All right. So we go to this play area here. Go around here. Let's go here. All right. So let's climb up the thing. Go down the thing.
And so together, they climbed to the very top of the play center. And there, who should they find waiting for them but a big, mean, evil bully?
Down on the slide.
I don't care about your story.
Caleb, you wanna, you're bigger and stronger, faster.
Let's go down the slide.
Let's go down the slide. All right, so we're just gonna go down the slide. So we're just gonna go down the slide. Oh wow! Oh, that was a fun slide, except for the part at the top. That was a little scary, but no, that slide, that was really fun. You want to go back up there again? Or you want to go do something else that doesn't have the bully over there to the side?
Let's go do something.
Yeah, let's go do something else. Yeah. Oh, I think I saw some arcade games this way. We're just gonna
and had a great day together at Chuck E. Cheese. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an awesome personal narrative story. Let's hear it for our awesome author, Carter. Take a bow and head back to your seat. Way to go, Carter. Thank you very much. And now, audience, we are ready to review all the different parts of Carter's excellent story. Say it with me as I point to them up on the sign. First, ladies and gentlemen, we have the people or animals in your personal narrative story. Those are called My Friends and I. Today, those characters were Carter, Caleb, and let's not forget that vicious bully. Then we discussed where everything in Carter's story happens. That's called the setting. And for a personal narrative, what do we call the setting? We call that Places I Go. Today, they were at Chuck E. Cheese's. Then we talked about what Carter and Caleb were doing in this story. That would be their activity. And for a personal narrative, we call the activity Things I Do. Today, Carter and Caleb were playing on the play structure. But then, ladies and gentlemen, something went wrong for Carter. Carter faced a problem. And when we face a problem in a personal narrative, we say, "Oh no!" Today, ladies and gentlemen, the problem was a big, mean bully on that play structure. But the day was saved when Carter and Caleb used a solution. Yes, everybody, they say it with me. Fixed it! Today, they fixed that problem by escaping down the slide. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we give the story a name. When we give a title to your personal narrative story, you just might choose to call your story, say it with me, The Story of Me. Today, of course, this was the story of Carter. One more big round of applause for our awesome